ABC6 investigates fraud uncovered in a federal program funded with your tax dollars that buys baby food for people who can't afford it.
Well, tonight, Investigator Tom Sussi shows you how it's happening and why the state agency that oversees this program is having trouble stopping it.
Baby food is a popular item on social media sites like Craigslist. It's not illegal to buy or sell baby food online unless that food is acquired through WIC, short for Women, Infants, and Children. A federal program funded with your tax dollars that provides free baby food to low-income families. ABC6 investigators responded to dozens of these ads.
Formula, price reduced.
In 2 cases, the seller admitted they were on WIC.
No shortage of baby formula.
One even sent pictures of her WIC vouchers. Vouchers like these are used to purchase the food. The Ohio Department of Health oversees the state's WIC program, which provides baby formula and food to more than 110,000 children. Part of its job is policing the web and tracking down recipients selling their baby's food.
This is a copy of a poster the Department of Health plans to distribute at WIC offices across the state, like this one here in Groveport. In big, bold letters it reads, "Illegal use of WIC benefits is a crime." But as you'll see in this ABC6 investigation, when it comes to backing up these words, the agency falls short.
ABC6 investigators dug through Ohio WIC records. From June 2012 to November 1st, the state identified 502 cases where WIC recipients were suspected of selling their baby's food online. The agency says those recipients were mailed one of these warning letters, reminding them it's illegal and they could face serious consequences, like forced to pay back WIC for those items sold, disqualified from the program, even turned over to law enforcement for prosecution. We checked. No action was taken in any of those 502 cases.
But why not? We invited the Department of Health to sit down with us and explain. They declined to be interviewed for this investigation.
Instead, they responded through email. The agency claims there wasn't sufficient evidence to verify the individuals committed any type of fraud, adding sanctions can only be applied if there is unequivocal evidence. But when it comes to digging up that unequivocal evidence, the agency lacks resources. ABC6 investigators learned that just 2 employees are assigned to monitoring online WIC fraud for a total of 312 hours a year. We did the math. That's merely 6 hours a week.
Is that enough?
No, it's not near enough.
United States Congressman Steve Stivers represents Ohio's 15th district. Last year, Ohio's WIC program received nearly $183 million from the feds. But what the Department of Health can't tell us is how much of that money wound up in the pockets of WIC recipients illegally selling their baby's food.
Does our investigation merit the state ramping up its resources on this sort of fraud?
That's a big problem. It's fraud, and we need to crack down on it. The federal government, at our level, needs to make sure all 50 states take this fraud very seriously.
They can start by looking at current penalties. WIC recipients caught selling baby food worth less than $99 must pay back the money or they lose their benefits for 1 year. Recipients caught selling baby food worth more than $100 or as their second offense are kicked out of the program for 1 year. They must also make full restitution.
There's no teeth in the law that makes sure states like Ohio or every other state take this fraud seriously.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture runs the WIC program for all 50 states. Recently, I contacted the agency's Public Relations Department in Chicago. I wanted to know how many WIC recipients nationwide were penalized in 2012 for selling baby food online, and what that cost taxpayers. Well, that information isn't available.
I mean, should we know how much fraud is going on?
Absolutely, and that's going to be something I'm going to take on as a mission to dig into, to try to figure out not only how much fraud's out there, but also try to figure out how we can build a system that prevents fraud.
Now, Congressman Stivers tells me he's been in touch with several lawmakers here about Ohio's system, and of course, we'll pass along any new information regarding our investigation.
I know you will. How much free baby food are WIC recipients entitled to?
I think you'll be surprised. Up to 10 cans of this powdered formula per month per child, and up to 31 cans of concentrated formula per month per child. Some say that's part of the problem.
Right,
they have
sure.
too much, and they're selling that excess online.
Increasing the expectation because you know your kids may not have to do without.
Absolutely.
Sure.
This can't be the only source of fraud with WIC, is it?
No,
I can't
there
imagine.
is a big problem with vendor fraud, and the health department will tell you that's the bigger fish, and that's where most of its resources are going, rather than going after people selling their baby food online. They want to get the big fish, and they say it's the vendors.
Well, it's infuriating for taxpayers, and I would imagine just as infuriating for people on the program who are playing by the rules.
Oh,
And it gives them a bad
absolutely.
name. Yeah.
Because they don't want the guidelines to get any tougher than they already are.
Right.
Right. All right. Tom,
All
thanks.
right. Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
Well, tonight, Tom hosted a live chat event on the ABC6 Facebook page. So we want to send a big thank you out to all of you who joined us, and we'll have more of those in the future. Now, you can still comment and read what others are saying about tonight's investigation. Just go and look for our ABC6 or WSYX and click on like on the Facebook page to interact. And if you have a tip for Tom or anyone else on the investigative team, you can leave them a message at 614-255-NEWS or drop Tom an email at tips@abc6onyourside.com, and you can remain anonymous.